Hi, this is David again, and welcome back to freehomebuyingwebinar.com. We're going to get right into the meat of this. No introductions. We had that in the first time, so let's get going. In your search for a home and your negotiation for a home and your closing on a home, through all the process of purchasing your first home, or as the case may be, your second or third if it's been a while, is to work with an agent. That may seem very basic, and it is basic, but many people tend to forget that and kind of go out on their own and wind up making mistakes. And I'm not trying to say you need to work with me. This is general information so that you can get the best representation and the best deal possible out there. So let me explain to you why I'm saying work with an agent and how you can get the most value out of working with an agent. 99% of you that are listening to this PowerPoint presentation will actually work with an agent, and there's good reason for that. First of all, it's absolutely free. Let me tell you how the system works and why that is. What happens is somebody decides to sell their home. So they will interview agents, maybe 2 or 3 agents from different companies, look over their marketing plans and the commission structure and their promises and their track record. And they will choose an agent, and they will hire that agent, and they will sign a contract. Built into that contract is the commission structure, which is not only for the one who lists that property, but built into it is a percentage also for the one who brings a buyer. Now the commissions vary, and there is no set amount of a commission, but let's throw out just a figure since it'll be easy to work with. Let's say that the home seller has signed a 6% commission. Well, then generally 3% of that, of the purchase price, the 3% of the commission will go, or half of it, will go to the one who listed the home for sale, and they will be representing the sellers. Then 50% of the commission, the other 3% of the purchase price, would then go to the one who brings the buyer. Now, that commission is then split. The listing agent usually has a brokerage firm that they belong to. They split that commission with that firm because that firm has overhead and the various expenses, and so does the agent. So they split that commission in various ways, but let's just say maybe 3%, 50-50. So the listing agent actually winds up getting 1.5% of the 6%. His company or her company gets 1.5% of the 3%, and then the selling agent, the one who brings in the buyer, would also split his or her commission with their brokerage firm. So they would then get generally 1.5% and their brokerage firm 1.5%. So that's how it's split. And built into the contract, as I said, is the commission that's going to be given to the agent that brings the buyer. And so it's already set there. Now, you do need buyer's representation because the one who lists the home must by law work for that seller. Work for the seller in order to try to get that seller the best price and terms possible. So you need someone who is not the listing agent, whose name is not on the sign out in front, to represent you and your best interest. How do you choose an agent? Choose one that is full-time is my suggestion. Almost everybody knows 2 or 3 real estate agents. Sometimes it seems like everybody has their real estate license, but you want to choose one whether that is full-time. 80% of the agents out there are part-time. And believe it or not, during the good times, agents sold an average, each agent, of 3.78 homes a year. That's 3.78 a year. And now in this market, it's more like 2.7 a year. And that's because of so many part-time agents. So get yourself an agent that's in it and that works and will work hard for you. Next, not only work with an agent, but work with one agent. All agents have access to the same information in the multiple listing. Using more than one agent, some people think, well, if this one doesn't do the job, then this one over here will. No, all it really does is creates hard feelings between agents and the clients. It's confusion because if you're working with a couple of agents, neither one knows which properties you've seen that the other one has shown you, And it's really counterproductive, because if an agent knows, and of course it's always discovered, that you're working with more than one agent, well, they don't give full work toward this, because why would they work hard when they're not going to be paid for that? You'd be the same way. You're not going to work hard on a job, and there's very little chance, or only 50% chance, you're going to get paid. So decide, choose carefully, but then decide to only work with one agent. You want agent representation for your negotiation. It's like having an attorney. Or an attorney would represent you, another attorney would represent the other side. You want an agent to represent you. What you're doing when you sign on to say, I want this particular agent to be my agent throughout the transaction, is you are trading your loyalty for that agent's labor. Again, choose carefully, but you want the agent you choose to use all available effort and resources, and an agent just really won't do that unless you're signed on to them, they're signed on to you, and an agent doesn't work with very many buyers at one time. So you really need to connect with an agent. Ask that agent for letters of recommendation. See what their track record is. The website you're on, when you go to the YouTubes, you're on my website, just go over to the testimonials and you can see how I've treated people, and past performance is a pretty good indicator of future activity also. So check that out, or any agent you're going to use, ask for their letters of recommendation, find out more about them. And then when you're using one agent, it gives you access to any other list and resources that they have. For instance, I subscribe to a list of for sale by owners. I have a list of real estate owned. I have a list of HUD homes available, and several different lists that I subscribe and have access to. And so when you work with one agent, you get access to all of this. Next, not only work with an agent, work with one agent. Next, make sure that you get your agent to sign with you what is in the industry called Form 41A. That is the buyer's agency agreement. And this is important now, insist upon this, because then you are tying that agent down to being your representative, and yours and no others in the transactions you're involved in. That means you will get full effort, full resources, full negotiation and representation in all that you are doing. Also, it gives you a sort of a buffer. We live in a litigious society. There are a lot of lawsuits, and agents have errors and omissions insurance, and just all the classes we take, we're more protected, and this helps you also. So make sure you get Form 41A signed between you and the agent. In my opinion, your agent should be experienced, and this is about as close as you're going to come to me giving any kind of advertisement for myself during the seminar, but I have 25 years of experience, and very unlikely we would come across any kind of situation that I haven't seen and handled many, many times before. Your agent needs to be knowledgeable. For instance, I have my broker's license, in which I've taken advanced courses in real estate law, real estate negotiation, and so forth. And so get you an agent that you know is knowledgeable about real estate. Your agent should be enthusiastic. Maybe I'm the old guy that's been out this for 25 years. Very few have. Most agents last. The average is 18 months. Been doing it for 25 years, and I can honestly say I am still very enthusiastic. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And then next, get an agent that's tech savvy. And again, the old guy's not very tech savvy, but my wife is. So we work as a team. I do most of the people stuff and the marketing and so forth, and the showing of properties. And my wife behind the scenes, well, she has her master's degree in business and in computers and so forth, and she takes care of that and is a great help to me. She's not at this point licensed, so she can't talk real estate with you, but she is a great help behind the scenes. Next, I believe that your agent should be personable. That's a matter of personal opinion. If you and I were to meet, for instance, some of you would like me, some of you wouldn't, but choose somebody that you like, that you trust, that you feel you can get along with, because you're going to be attached to this agent. You're going to be attached at the hip for the next 2 to 3 months probably to make this go. And then you need somebody that's patient, willing to answer your questions, first-time buyers' questions, and so forth. Understand also the difference between a salesperson and a consultant. A salesperson has a product to push. Could be TVs, cars, computer equipment, real estate. A consultant uses training and experience to benefit the client. Salespeople are pushy, consultants educate. Salespeople have customers, consultants have clients. Now I want to show you the summary of services, the way that I work with my clients. Now remember, I wanted to empower you. So if you're working with me, you will know what I do. If you're going to work with somebody else, you'll be empowered to hold their feet to the fire so that they will best represent you. Insist on having good representation. And the first thing that I do is to listen to your wants and needs. I want to know how many bedrooms you need, how many bathrooms, garage, yard, style of home, do you need a shop, desired area, time frame for moving, and so forth. So the first thing is to listen. The second thing is to provide you with agency law pamphlet, contract paperwork, inspection contingency forms, property disclosure forms, and so forth. These are for you to peruse before we even need them. Now, the purpose of it, well, most agents skip this step, and your head is spinning when all the forms are put in front of you for your signature when you found the home you want. You at least need to have a look at these and become somewhat familiar with them before you find the home that you want. Third, make sure that you are pre-approved so that you are not frustrated by looking out of your price range. Plus, pre-approval puts you in a stronger negotiating position when we do find the property that you want. Then, next, number 4, is to make sure the timing is right for your move. Maybe during pre-approval we find that your credit needs fixing or the credit report has errors in it. That happens 30+% of the time. It's good to know that now and fix it now, or perhaps you're on a lease. In many cases, I can get you a cash grant to pay the early leave penalty on your lease. Often that's a 1-month penalty. It's better to buy now while interest rates are low than to get priced out of the market by rising interest rates later. So if you're on a lease, give me a call. Let's see what we can do. Number 5 is to search. I can mail, fax, deliver, or email up-to-date listings to you. Then we can look at them together, or I can give you the addresses and you can drive by however you are most comfortable. Number 6 is that we need to point out the positives and the negatives of each property, because these will affect its value in future resale. Plus, I promise to give you any information necessary about the neighborhood demographics, schools, parks, crime, etc., everything and anything to help you make a decision on your home buying. And then, number 7, to fill out the paperwork, write the offer. Number 8, represent your best interest in negotiations. Don't let the friendly face and teddy bear exterior fool you. I will fight to get you the best price and terms possible. Number 9, see the transaction to closing. There are 1,001 details: contracts, paperwork, forms, inspections, appraisal, title, escrow, to take the burden off of you so that you don't have to miss work and so that you can enjoy your move. Number 10, to keep all discussions and all your private information confidential. Number 11, to courteously answer all of your questions. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, I encourage you to ask lots of questions and make sure you understand the answer or ask the question again. Then number 12, no pressure, not now, not ever. I'll see you in the next one, where we are going to be looking at qualifying for a home, knowing how much you can qualify for, fixing and having the best possible credit, and everything having to do with financing of your new home. See you then.